Did you have a green Christmas, Dawn? You did? You did? So we saved all the snow for when you got back. Yeah. Hope you're happy. There's more to come. Hi everyone, it's Dawn from Dawn's Family Vacation, and yeah, as you can tell outside, there's no doubt that I'm back in Canada. In this video, I thought I'd bring you some of my experiences from the Caribbean Princess Holiday Cruise. And in this one, I gotta start off because I want to get it out of the way. I'm gonna do my negative video first and then follow it up with all my positive videos. So in this video, I'm gonna bring you 5 things that either confused me, annoyed me, or made me downright angry from people I saw on the cruise ship. Nothing to do with the cruise, Princess Cruise themselves. This is just people being rude or just downright not thinking things properly. And yeah, let's see if you agree with me that these things just annoy the heck out of you. Number 1 is that cruiser that thinks they're the only person on the ship, so there's never going to be a line, or no one else is going to go and do what they want to do. So let me put this out there. On this cruise, Princess Cruise Line's shows in the theater, I thought were fantastic. They were all kinds. Juggling, magicians, comedy, rock, opera, the dancers, the singers, Phantom of the Opera singer was on board. We had somebody who did a Whitney Houston tribute. We had saxophone player playing Kenny G. All kinds of things that were just great on this show. That's not the complaint. Every single night in that show, I was either in the front row or the second row. They started almost every night at 8:15 and another showing later on at 10:15. I prefer to eat late in the evening, so I went to the earlier show, and I was always in the first or second row. And I wasn't always the first one there. Quite often there were people in front of me, but I always arrived at least 1/2 hour before the show was about to start. Without fail, every single show, I would see almost the exact same people coming in at 8:13 with 2 minutes left to go in the show, with 3 people in their party, and they stand at the top of the stairs like this. What? There's not 4 seats right down front available for us? I don't understand. Almost every show. I can understand you going to the first one and saying, oh, looks like the Princess Cruise theaters are going to be popular. Maybe we should arrive a little earlier next time. But no, every single show they were there, and they end up putting one person way up top, one person down near the front, 2 people in the middle, and they have to squeeze by everybody while the show is starting. Every single time. So to those people, I go, come on, use some common sense and get there a little earlier. Holy cow, I mean, come on. Number 2 is that person who thinks that their photographs are more important than your photographs. So for instance, say for the balloon drop that I left you the Happy New Year video for already. I was there almost 3 hours ahead of time, set up a tripod and my camera, and staked out a good point of view to be able to film it. All other kinds of people come up and they lined up the railings, or they were downstairs waiting for it to come, and that's fine. And without fail, at any kind of event, whether I was doing the ice sculpture, watching the ice sculpture, or singers on stage, or watching the band up top, or anybody, whenever I was there for a good amount of time and staging myself ready so I can get some footage, and I wanted the premier spot, so I was willing to spend the time of my cruise to be able to get that, this is what happens. Without fail, somebody would stick their phone or their iPad tablet up front in front of my camera while I'm trying to get the footage. Every single time. Come on, people. Have some respect for those people around you and stop doing it. It's just dumb. Number 3 is that person at the buffet who thinks, hey, those 9 people lined up for that section of the buffet, they don't want the food at that buffet. They're just sitting there talking. So I'm going to go to the front and get what I want instead. I literally wanted to go and dump the trays of food on these people whenever they butt in line like that. It really, really started to annoy me after a while because I spent a lot of time in the buffet because I found a good selection of food and I liked the food in the buffet. So it was easy for me to go and grab and then run and do some photography and come back and eat again whenever I wanted. And yeah, those kind of people, there would literally sometimes be 15 people lined up because they just brought out a new slice of roast beef and people were getting ready to get it, and somebody would come from this end and just jump right in the front line. Yep, if you're that person on my next cruise, be careful because I'm accidentally bump into you and send your food all over the floor next time I see you. Number 4 is that person who can't wait 10 seconds for somebody who has a walking disability or is much, much older in their 70s and 80s and has a much slower time getting around. I don't know how many times I saw a younger person in their late 20s, early 30s. Say I'm coming out of the theater, you have a set of stairs going up like this, a little bit of a walkway, a set of stairs going down like this into the aisle, and then you walk all along deck 7 to get to the elevators. And so I always just sat in my seat for about 10 minutes after the shows were over and just let all the people who were a little harder to get around, let them get going. So you'd see people with their canes and walkers and things like that, and I don't know how many times I would see an elderly lady and an elderly gentleman on the stairs holding onto the railing with a cane in one hand and going one step at a time, side by side, going down, and some idiot would come up beside them, see them, there's no way you can miss them, and squeeze between them like this to go down the stairs in such a hurry. Because, you know, wherever they had to go on the ship at 9 o'clock at night apparently was so vital that they couldn't wait 10 seconds for somebody to get down the stairs and had to risk tripping them on the stairs in case. At one point, I actually yelled at one of these guys that they were a big jackass. That's how angry I was because he actually kicked the cane of a 70-some-year-old woman out from under her on the stairs. And I was livid at that time because I had seen this for about 5 nights in a row. And this is a holiday, relaxing cruise, and somebody has to be that big of a jerk. Number 5, actually I'm going to bring out one more after this because it's not necessarily a complaint. It's a, let's call it a couple or marriage counseling advice. So stay tuned for that one. Number 5, this one is the one where I almost came to blows with somebody over. And you'll probably understand why once you hear what happened. So I'm standing in line at the buffet and I got my food and I head around and I'm heading to pick up some fresh fruit in the fresh food section. Now keep in mind, every single spot on the buffet line, no matter where you are in the buffet line, has multiple prongs in front of every single dish. So not only is there a prong for rice, and then a prong for an egg roll, and then a prong for a baked potato, you know, you don't have to use the same prong in the same section. There's one for every single food item that's there. So same thing with the fresh fruit. You get there it is, lots of prongs to get it, no problem. And I get up there and there's this guy standing there and he reaches in like this and grabs some grapes with his hand, breaks them off, just shakes like this so grapes go flying all over the place after he gets his little handful, puts them on his plate, goes to get the grape juice off of his hand, walks over to the next little item, reaches in for some pineapple after licking his bloody hands, picks up some grapefruit, drops one of them back on the plate, puts it back onto his plate, and starts to walk it. And I lost my mind on this person. And not only did I lose my mind, but the three people beside me lost their mind on this guy. And he just turned around as if, what are you guys looking at? And we were just about to throw this guy off the ship. That's how mad we were. There was going to be a man overboard event happening on this ship. But luckily, one of the people from the Princess Cruises was across on the other section, filling up the bread section, and saw this guy do that. And he went over to his manager, and they contacted security, who ended up showing up and talking to this guy, and they pulled him and brought him someplace. So I'm quite sure that they had quite a few words for this guy and told him basically don't ever do that again, or you're not allowed to go to the food buffet anymore. Something along those lines, because they saw also how angry the rest of us were at this person, and they take cleanliness on a cruise ship, especially in the food and food areas, really, really serious. And so when they see something like that and it upsets passengers, because right away, if I get disgusted eating at the buffet on the cruise ship, maybe I'm not going to cruise on that cruise ship. Even though it's not the cruise ship's fault, I saw it happen on their cruise. So I might try somebody else, just because it's in my head. And it had nothing to do with them. And in fact, Princess did the right thing, and they looked after the thing. Because if they hadn't, some of us might have. And that was not going to turn out well. Because I can put up with an awful lot of things, but don't put your dirty fingers on my food. That is a real pet peeve I have. So that was number 5. So come on, guys. When you're on a cruise, it's not hard. Have respect for some people around you. Use the tools that are there. Don't think that you're the only person on the cruise ship, on a 3,000 person cruise ship, that you're going to have a front row seat when you show up with 1 minute left to go before the show, and things like that. Just have a little bit of common sense. You don't have to be a genius to figure this stuff out. Okay, I promised one more. I'm going to give you couple advice. I don't care if you're a man and a woman, a woman and a woman, a man and a man, a dog and a sheep. I don't care. This goes for everybody. This is something I saw. On this cruise, we had 3 formal nights. And you can imagine, Christmas and New Year's Eve on a ship, you're going to have formal nights. And people went out, all out on this. There were tuxedos and James Bond lookalikes and Santa Claus. You name it, we had it. And people were looking sharp. And I was there standing, and I was getting some footage of people and taking pictures and that of the photographers lining people up for the formal night. And I saw this lady, probably around 27, 28 years old, gorgeous black dress. Her hair had just been done at the salon. You could tell it was so well done that there's no way she did it. Diamond necklace. She was decked out. The makeup was perfect. She was decked out. She was ready for formal night, and she wanted her photos. She was watching the couples getting their photos grabbed, but she's standing by herself, and I'm kind of going, all right, maybe she's a solo traveler like I am. Good on her and that. And then her husband or boyfriend or whoever it was comes up beside her. He's unshaven, in jeans, a t-shirt, and a backwards baseball cap. And they're lined up for formal pictures. And I just saw her when he walked up, and she just went like this. She just went like this, and he didn't care. They get up to the photographer, and the photographer told them, I can't take your picture. Because it was formal pictures only. It wasn't casual. It wasn't regular photo area. It was for formal dress only. If I'd have been down there in just a pair of dress pants and a t-shirt, they would not have taken my photograph either. So yeah, everybody knew that. Big signs all over the place. And the guy goes, oh well, and just walks away, leaving the woman standing there. And you could just see the heartbreak in her face. She so much wanted that photo souvenir of her looking really, really good on this cruise ship. Probably a first time cruise ever during the holidays. She would have loved to have her partner all dressed up beside her for something that they could keep as a memento forever. So here's my advice, people. If your spouse or your partner is going to deck themselves out like that, that means they want you to too. And I don't care that you say, oh, well, I can't afford a $5,000 suit. Guys, go to Walmart, buy a dress pair of pants, a dress pair of shirts, and a tie for $110. If you can afford a 14-day Caribbean cruise, you can afford a $110 suit at Walmart. At least it would have been something, and you could get the photograph with your spouse and make them happy. Sometimes in life, you have to do something to make your spouse and partner happy, not just yourself. And if you're not willing to do that for one night on a special occasion like that, guess what? Chances are next year that lady might be with somebody else, because I just shook my head and I could literally see the disappointment in her face. It was almost heartbreaking to a point. So there's my marital advice, partner advice, if you will. I can't believe when people think only of themselves, especially in a situation like that, and then they wonder why the divorce rate gets so high. It's a mystery. Okay, well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos on that from my trip in the Caribbean and all kinds of tip videos, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, you have yourself a safe and a great vacation.